Hello and welcome back. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to do some very simple and easy desert sand bases using this vallejo. It's called earth texture, but it's definitely more of a sand texture. It's very quick to use, and I know that Citadel has a technical paint of their own, but I don't think it's quite as gritty. So we're going to jump right in here. You don't need to get your brush wet or anything. You can just put it right in there, and not too much. And we're going to be using a very small base for this just to kind of showcase it. You can see in the background there I have kind of finished a couple of them already just to kind of showcase some of the other effects that we can do with this. And very quickly just kind of apply a nice layer there. And this dries very quick. It says it takes 45 minutes to an hour, but I think that kind of depends on how much you really put on your base. Let's go right back in for a quick second pass around. If you get it on the rim of the base, don't worry too much. You can always kind of scrape it off, or you can paint it black afterwards. It's very easy to clean up. And once that dries, you can see there's a little bit of the underside of that kind of black showing through still. Don't worry about that too much. Once it dries, just do another layer. And now that I don't really have 15 minutes to do in this video, we are going to skip right ahead to showcase kind of the finished product. So this is just with the texture paint applied, nothing else, right? It looks kind of yellowish on camera, but I promise it is more tan in person. And if you want more of a lighter, kind of more clean sand effect, I just dry brushed a little bit of this Wrack white onto it. And if you want more of a kind of dirty, maybe wet sand kind of look, a nice Nuln Oil or Agrax Earthshade wash will give you kind of this effect. And I'm going to showcase kind of how to do that now using our already pre-dried kind of setup here. First we're going to start with the dry brushing, so we're going to go ahead and get a little bit of Wrack white on our brush there. And with a paper towel, it doesn't have to be a clean one, it can be a dirty one. You just want to get most of that paint off of your brush. You don't want it to be layered on too thick. And we're just going to very quickly apply it. We're going to do both effects on this. So we're just going to go ahead and apply it all over here. And it might be a little bit difficult to see just from the camera view, but I promise it is making this just a little bit lighter. And we'll try to cover as much as we can. And maybe you can tell the difference, maybe you can't. I definitely can. You can see there's a little bit of the difference between the rim and kind of the inner area there. So that's with your Wrack white. Okay, very quick, very easy. And moving on to our Agrax Earthshade, let me clean off my brush here. You can clean this just using your standard water. It's very easy to take off as long as you don't let it dry. Just kind of swirl it around a little bit and it comes right off the brush. Very easy, very quick. Perfect. And we'll go ahead and dry this off a bit. I don't want our paint too thin. As we switch over to our Agrax Earthshade, and we'll do half of it with Agrax, and we'll actually showcase some Nuln Oil too. We'll try to get kind of a maybe dirty kind of oil soaked effect going here. So just on this half, we're going to go ahead and apply our Agrax. Very quick, don't worry about it too much. I will say though, one thing you want to make sure is that your base is entirely dry before you do this. I didn't quite let it dry enough when I was doing this one, and you can see that kind of inner piece right there, it soaked it up very heavily, and it kind of made it kind of like Play-Doh looking. So avoid that if you can. As I search for my Nuln Oil here, I would just like to point out that our Vallejo Earth texture is actually pretty cheap. I just got it off Amazon. I think it was like maybe 10 to 15 bucks. I'm sure you can find it at whatever hobby store. I had to grab my Nuln Oil from another table, but give it a good little shake. And we'll go ahead and pop this open. Try not to peek the microphone too much. And like I said before, we're just gonna, if it'll stay open, there we are. Slather some of this on our brush, and we'll apply it to the other half of our base here. Very quick, very easy. And that gives you more like a kind of muddy sand kind of look. And I'm sure once that dries, it'll look a little bit better. It's kind of hard to tell the difference between the two. You can see it's not quite halfway, but this side is the Agrax. This side is the Nuln Oil. There's a little bit of a difference. It is slightly darker. And if you don't like, I found that the Citadel washes kind of give you a glossy feeling to it. If you use a matte varnish, usually that'll take care of it pretty well. So just something to keep in mind there. But here we will line up all three of our bases. So this is our one that's still drying. This is a dry brushed with a Wrack white, and this is just fully the Agrax Earthshade. And this is kind of our half and half. You can do this before you put your models on, or you can do it afterwards. I kind of like doing it after. It kind of helps give you that effect, like your model's been walking through the sand, right? And coming up, I will be finishing off our Dreadnought. If you've been following along with that series, that will be with this texture paint. So if you want to see what it looks like on a model, maybe stay tuned for that, and we'll just continue from there. I also plan to do the Dark Angels Combat Patrol in entirety using that entire texture. So we'll kind of see what kind of contrast we can get with the green models and the kind of brighter yellowish, whitish sand. So I think it will give us a pretty cool effect. If you enjoyed this video, and it's kind of a short one, I just want to kind of showcase this new stuff I've been using, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I do have a Patreon if you'd like to support that. It does help me make more videos more often. Other than that, just thank you guys very much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next video.